So this is live. You know, we're doing it live today.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
So let's see how this goes.
Bear with us.
If I'm bad at blocking, it's my fault.
This is true. So
Ooh, the drip
already
automatically
kind of
looking
through everything we've
pretty
done here with
awesome.
SOHEI, and well, let's just jump straight into it. So, you know, we'll start with the basics. Every hero has this. We have our light attacks. You can throw those, of course, in every single direction. You'll notice.
Okay, so using the spear for all the light
I'm not getting
attacks.
kind of cancelled out. Every light
each
attack
direction.
for this hero, every light opener attack for this hero, I should say, is enhanced. You know, so you kind of you'll
Enhanced
see
as
later
well,
why
pretty good.
this is very important.
Yeah.
So those are our lights. We have, of course, heavies as well. You know, in every single direction. You know, pretty standard stuff. Everything you can kind of expect us to do.
And those heavies are pretty slow, but
Yes.
so I know some people are going to be worried about that. Like,
Right.
But don't worry, we've thought of everything. It's going to be all good.
Don't be worried. We're just getting started.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Just getting started. There's so much more to show here. Now you might be running around the world. You know, might need to engage. So we have a light dodge attack, get you into combat right away. You know, there we go, light attack. We also have a heavy dodge attack. A sprint attack, sorry. Running around, you know, get into combat, jump into the air with that Yari, smack opponent in the face. Oh, dodge attacks. There we
We
go.
have light and heavy there, right?
Light and heavy sprint
I
attacks.
wonder why.
Not many
All-
characters have
this
that,
will all
actually.
be explained shortly.
Interesting.
We have a zone attack. It's usual. Big swipe, big trajectory there.
Nice.
Scary thing. It's
Yep.
very usual. And we have a forward dodge bash as an
Nice.
opener. Now that's going to lead into stuff. We're going to get into that in a second. Just know that's a very important move.
So he's only used his
Now let's
spear
go into the chain.
so
Let's get into the
far
good
for
stuff.
lights,
We have
heavies,
dodge attacks,
and
right? So like
Yeah.
side dodge
dodges
We have a side
and
dodge. Yes, we're
running
doing those.
attacks.
Yeah, here we go. Left light attack. Right light attack. Yeah, openers. We have right heavy attack.
Yeah, so that's
And
heavy.
left heavy attack.
So there's a theme here, right? That every single, like you can do front dodge as well, but
You can do front two.
there's a theme where like every time you can do an attack, you always have a light and heavy version. Like, usually we don't really do this. So
Yeah.
again, it's a sign of things to come.
All right.
Is a sign of things to come. This is a weapon master after all.
Exactly, right?
You should be able to do all these moves,
should be
right?
able to
There's
do
big groundwork being laid here. I can tell.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So let's get into the good stuff.
Yeah.
We'll swap back to our lights. They start enhanced, like I said. You can follow these up with another light attack. In
so
any
enhanced,
direction.
for those that don't know, means that if they block
All
it,
the
you
time.
can still continue your
Now, the
chain.
top one you would have seen there. It's a bit of an extra property there. This is an undodgeable follow-up. on
Just
the
to
light
clarify
attack.
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the left attack, kind of same thing.
What's
Light,
kinda
light chain.
cool here too is that I don't know, players have probably noticed by this time. That second hit, that second light, always use one of the weapons that's on SOHEI's back. Right?
Correct.
So depending on which stance you use, if you're top, you can do it again, right? We're using that.
Ah, okay, there we go.
If you're going on this side,
Let's
wherever the stance.
oh, there we go. Let's do that
Do it
again.
again.
There we
So
go.
we're using like different weapons. So that was the camera.
Right,
And
so
then right on this side, it's a bit.
He
of a
uses
counter.
different
So it's
weapons, but only
every
when they're
single
chained.
time that you use a light in your chains, probably your heavies as well, right?
Your heavies as well.
They absolutely all use the special, the extra weapons that SOHEI is carrying, which is pretty interesting.
Exactly.
Amazing.
So
We have the same from heavies,
We'll
right?
go through the same rotation again. Heavy top into another heavy. Now, heavy follow-ups. We've
Nice,
noticed that that's an unblockable attack there, so you know, JC's doing a good job dodging there. We'll do the same on the sides. Do the right side heavy attack with a heavy follow-up. You can see, you know,
All right.
different weapons being used.
So the trident is a heavy there.
And same on the left.
So for everybody that was like, you're not gonna be able to use all your 7 weapons or whatever, you use every single one of them during your kit.
There we go.
We literally just counted to 7, right?
It's
there, right?
confirmed.
If
We
you-
counted to
That's pretty
7.
good, right?
As was established, you know, a little less than 1,000, but still 7 is we've never done that.
We've
before.
never
Exactly.
done 7.
Holy crap.
We really try to put as many
So that
weapons
is
as
pretty
we can.
big. So confirmed that we
I mean,
do
also his
use
bash, he smacks
all
people with
7
his hand, too,
weapons.
so there you go.
They're not just
There you
there
go.
for cosmetics, they are actually
Now, very
useful.
important to note, you know, for our
Which is
very
really,
keen
really
different
awesome.
Displayers asking, you know, it's slow.
And what I was
all the
hoping
time
for,
this
though,
year.
and I'm sure
The
all of
heavy
you guys
attacks are
were
slow, but
as
the
well.
light attacks did 400 MS follow-ups.
Yeah.
So they're pretty fast.
Yeah.
Right. So they kind of
Top is undodgeable,
Top is
again, to
undodgeable.
make sure that if people are gonna go, hey, I can't, I want to make sure that I can, I'm not just going to mash dodge and beat all the lights. Well, actually, top is undodgeable, so you can't just mash light and always get away with it.
Can't wait to play it. Really want to just
Now,
play the character.
Very quickly.
Sure you guys do as well.
Every heavy attack follow-up has a different property. So top heavy follow-up.
24 hours. Gotta wait 24 hours.
More than the other heavy follow-ups would do. The left side bleeds the target. Get a little bit of damage over time there. And the right side pins the target. So you can see the weapon master has tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah, you want to use different attacks in different situations. It's pretty cool there.
Nice.
Right. So might have noticed, we're always pressing the same button twice to get into those second weapons. Now, there is another move that can kind of use these weapons, and it's our zone attack. Now, our zone attack, as our players know, is a combination of a light attack and a heavy attack, which means you can follow that attack up with a light and heavy attack as well. So let's start from the right here. I'll follow up with a light attack. We'll do the same zone attack into a top light attack. Let's see if we can change stance fast enough. There we go. Good stuff. And we'll do the same on the right, on the other side.
So zone is still within combo. Nice, a bit like Medjay.
There we go. We'll see if we can do it on the other side. There we go. Those were the light attacks, and you can do the same with the heavy attacks as well.
So it's key that it's only the follow-up attacks that you use your other 6 weapons.
All these weapons. Now you would have noticed, JC, very
the spear is his primary weapon in every case.
Blocked everything, dodged everything. I threw
It was not planned at all.
So I'm going to ask him to
a little practice, maybe just a little.
I'm going to ask him to not do it now and just get hit.
There's one thing before we go into that, right? One thing we need to mention really is that you have a zone attack in chains as well, right?
This is true. You can use a zone attack as an extender. So if I do my light here, I can follow up with a zone attack. It's very smooth. It's very smooth. I can continue my chain the entire time. And the same goes for the right. It's for the heavy attacks here. Up into a zone extender, and you would have seen there's a little property.
So the top's unblockable as well.
So that's really useful as well to trade and stuff. So
there you go.
I agree. That was very smooth. In fact,
I didn't quite see if the left and right heavies are unblockable though.
we'll get into it. We'll get a little bit, but
give them all the time and all the credits shortly.
Yeah. So what's special about these weapons? Because I kept blocking them. I guess there's probably a reason why, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying not to get hit too much.
So let's get hit. So we'll start with the lights. Oof! Didn't dodge that one, right? So what? There's a glow now.
What is this? What is this? Like the little white thing on top.
Interesting.
Something happened. This is happening in every single direction. As I'm using the weapons on my back, I'm kind of getting into what we call the soul stance. We talked about the souls, the soul collector. The souls of our enemies are in these weapons. Every time we hit, there's the pin on the right heavy follow-up. Same at the top. I keep collecting souls.
He's got a lot of souls going on.
It's a lot of souls.
Right? Pretty good.
Now, the concept of this soul collector, the
So you just used to hit them with the.
We wanted to add a mini game
with the saw.
Right? We wanted to have players think a little bit ahead of what they're going to throw at their opponent, and have a bit of this mini game of collecting the souls, getting all these souls up, so that by the time you get all of the souls up, there's something cool that happens.
They're kind of red now.
All right, so it's turned red, so that's soul stance.
I remember seeing that red in the trailer, and I'm like, I wonder, some weird things happening. I don't know. They're going into the.
So what's he going to do now? That is the question.
Yes.
Or what can he do now?
Powered up or something.
He is powered up, and there's lots of speculation on what that meant.
Yeah, so, I'm not sure. What please show us, because I have no idea.
Let's just let the game speak for itself.
First, right? Okay. So
95 damage.
I'm old, so I can't really see the combat there, but I believe this says 95 damage. Right?
Holy.
My goodness.
So
holy shit.
That's
essentially
a lot.
That move, that move you can only do it when you have all souls active, right?
Correct.
And only off of the front dodge bash.
So that's nearly their entire health.
Of a zone attack input.
That's right.
Without
so
buffs.
You front dodge bash. Without the souls zone attack, you just throw your zone attack. But
so if they have an attack buff on that, an attack buff on top of the 95, that is going to be huge. That's going to be in the hundreds.
Using that Yari, using all the power,
an instant kill.
To kind of embed your opponent there, dealing massive damage.
Extremely high damage.
This is a scary moment. We've seen it on the floor when SOHEI has all those souls up. It's scary, and he counts as well, right?
Yeah, right. Every time you gain one soul, he counts. It doesn't really matter which weapon is getting the soul first, but he's going to count from 1 to 6, like we've heard in the trailer.
We have, yeah.
I think getting all 7 weapons to hit, though, is going to be harder than it looks, though.
Really, you want to be able to hit with all of your weapons to activate that special mode.
Because if someone can see, oh, he's got 5 weapons hit, he's going to come from this direction next to try and get the soul stance, so they're going to predict it.
I can't just like
more frequently.
Top
that makes sense.
Heavies and getting on the other weapons. It's you have to hit once per weapon to get all that sort of stuff going.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
But at the same time, like, you know, if that was the only way to really gain souls, it would be really, really, really hard, right? Like there's a lot of attacks here that, you know, people are going to parry, they're going to block, they're going to dodge. So is there any other ways to gain them?
There are. It's a weapon master.
Unless there's another way, which she says she's saying right now.
So I've showed our dodge attacks, you know, or kind of forward light attack in this case. These can follow up with, let me just do that correctly here, with a light attack. But not only that, it can follow up from a light attack from any stance. The same goes for our heavy dodge attacks. You know,
Nice.
Dodge to the right, follow up with the top. Dodge to the left, follow up with the right.
So I see.
Okay, so all the heavy attacks are actually unblockable when they're follow-ups.
Every option that SOHEI has that is, you know, not like from neutral heavies or whatever, there's a reason why there's light and heavy sprint.
Which is always good because it forces a reaction.
Front dodge and side dodge. It's to get into those things, right? Because the chain flow of this hero is kind of unique, where it's always using the same button twice. So because of this, you need to have a side dodge light into light, or a side dodge heavy into heavy, right? We want to be able to reach into these things, and again, give players a lot more reason as to why am I using my light or my heavy version. They have different
quality rise, I'm currently on
Side dodge
1080p
heavy has a big
60,
swipe,
which
whereas
is the
side dodge
max.
Light, for example, has a little poke. So sometimes you want to use the swipe, sometimes you want to use the poke.
So it should be highest quality if anyone's having issues.
Kind of depends on at what point you're at in your game plan, which weapons do you want to activate their souls from.
Gotcha.
That's right. Now we have a couple more. I'll run very quickly through these, so you know we want players to see the whole kit, right?
Yeah, right.
Of course. So we've already showed the forward dodge bash, I believe. So this can follow up as well. You know, we said that early on. This can follow up with lights or heavies, again from any stance.
Yeah, again from any stance. This is kind of unique. We don't have that. It's very rare that we have this. Actually, they're dedicated follow-ups, but so they deal like, you know, we were able to tweak the damage accordingly. Everything's good, but they are stance-based. So if I do like, I can do a heavy from this side, or I can do a heavy from that side, right? So these have pretty good trajectories. Again, so if you want to be in a group fight, if you want to cover your sides, you can. You can still go top if you want.
Good for 4 versus 4 then.
Really around the hero's game plan of what attack do I want to use in what
He looks like he could be strong in both 1v1 and 4 versus 4 from what we've seen so far, which is always good.
To my 7-4 strike.
That's right. That's right. Now there's a couple of cool things that we've kind of added to this kit just to, you know, we realize that sometimes maybe you want another option. So we talked about the zone extender, kind of throw that into your kind of combo. So I'll follow up here on the right and kind of zone. Let me just do a proper zone extender here. Up, up. Now, you know, that might be easy to parry, right? You know, you might think, you know, every opponent's going to parry that. Easy. So we added the option to
attacks look pretty quick there, actually.
Into a guard break.
Yeah.
And
so it could be hard to parry. If you don't like parrying lights.
Let me just hit you. How good these animations are. Oh, let me also just do it properly. So smooth.
Oh,
it is like, honestly, that, again, we'll have the animation team come later, but this is like one of the smoothest soft feints I've seen in the game. I'll do it from my point of view if people players want to see like a little bit more.
Wow.
Just from neutral, you can soft feint into guard break. It feels like amazing. And then if I go into a light, for example, again, like it feels extremely seamless. It's gorgeous. But then, so I guess there's a reason why you're showing us guard break, right?
You could get a lot of GBs on your opponents with this character by the looks of things with that.
There's an extra kind of follow-up from a regular guard break. So if you do successfully guard break,
which is good for ledging people.
You can follow up with 3 hits.
Nice.
Getting all glows for that follow-up type. So 3 lights or 3 heavy. So if you are having trouble getting that last weapon out, just catch the opponent off with that guard break. Follow up with whatever you're missing. Bam, you're ready.
There we go.
So basically, if you manage.
So it's actually not as hard as I thought it was going to be to get into soul stance because of that.
3 souls every time. Like you get all 3 light souls or all 3 heavy souls. It's light, 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 or heavy, heavy, heavy. You can't switch them midway, so we want players to commit a little bit more there. It makes it a little bit harder to get all the souls active. But it's pretty interesting, right? Because you can do that. And then you can off a guard break. You also have a zone attack if what you want to do is regular damage, right? Because the important thing here is normally off of a guard break, you want to be able to execute somebody. You want to be able to do 24 damage with a heavy. Those light, light, lights and heavy, heavy, heavies deal a lot less damage. But we want players to still have the option to be able to, I'm going to throw something that will deal, again, the regular damage, can potentially execute as well, which is kind of different there.
Instead
as well.
of
we have
red and black, I might go for red and white as my customization colors for this, so that it goes with his souls.
And the chain one as well.
That could be an
idea.
idea.
Kind of fits in with that trick here, and also something that's not super obvious. After light, 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 I can go straight into my chain zone as well. So you can keep extending your flow after those like 3 little pokes that you have, or after heavies as well. So you guard break somebody, get 3 souls, and then go into a zone. Keep your offense going.
Yeah,
so it feels really, really good there.
You could GB them again and then get more souls.
One thing we want to show just before we jump into a little bit of setup here is I'm going to throw a heavy top at you here. Just to show.
Let me just like get rid of all of my souls there.
Yeah. Just an opportunity
so that
to 7-4 strike me there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Cool. So throw my top heavy.
Throw top
you
heavy.
do not want to get hit by
that one. Up. Immediately follow up with a light or a heavy.
Or a heavy, yeah.
In any stance.
That light is only 6 damage though,
so whenever
which
you
is not
parry,
too much.
You kind of shortcut to your soul stance, which lets you use any of your soul weapons, right? So any of the 6 weapons that are there. Just as an FYI, so players are aware, we know we had an early access period. You're probably going to see a bunch of videos from influencers coming out soon. We know there's a slight issue here where if you perform a heavy parry and you throw a heavy follow-up, you can parry the follow-up, but it's a 1-frame thing. We're working on a patch right now to solve this, to have a bit of a longer window. So we're aware of the issue. It's going to get fixed shortly, but not like as of tomorrow when it launches. So just so players are aware, we know about this. You don't need to go into the bug reporter putting a bug if you want to. We know it's good. It's going to get fixed, but just so people are aware.
Gotcha.
But you can throw, like, so if I parry a light, so you can do a dodge attack at me, for example, right?
A light dodge attack, is it?
Side dodge. You can do a heavy.
Side dodge, light, yeah. Okay.
Right, so it works. I can throw a side heavy. I'm going to get, I can get all my stuff. So it's really interesting. You get all of your souls through this. So the hero's entire kit is really built around how do I get my souls? How does that go, right? So now, Mike is going to go and set us up for us to show feats. And while he does this, I'm going to talk a little bit more about some of the philosophy.
All right, so that is the moveset by the looks of things, guys.
Hero, right? So
very nice.
It's very deep.
It's definitely unique. We haven't had that before with the soul stance. So that is good to see.
And it was the first time that we're trying to attempt to
I quite like it, to be honest, by the looks of things. It's the first time I've actually seen the moveset.
Really had a system in For Honor
so yeah, I quite like that. And I can see myself
build up a certain
using him a lot.
Mentioned like a lot of times by players like, we should have that on like Yorm, for example, like with rules.
Welcome everyone else who's just joined the stream, by the way. Hey guys.
I've been thinking about it for a long time.
I don't normally stream. Recently I've been doing Elden Ring, so I know some people have joined from that.
It came naturally to us to go, okay,
hey Matt.
Build a hero that like has
how are you doing,
weapons,
bro?
So I want to be able to hit with all of these
yeah, we can play together.
And then when
I've just been pretty tied up with things lately. So apologies I haven't been able to get around to playing with you, but I will try to when I have time.
I don't know if something happened. So there's a concept of an install, right? Well, when you activate something, you go into this really crazy powered up mode. We looked at this and it was like a bit too unpredictable, a bit too hard to control. So we really went towards, I'm getting all my resources, and once I have all of my resources, I gain access to a new move that deals a ton of damage, right?
Right.
That's super cool. Another thing that's super interesting, what we've done is, like you might have noticed from what we've had before in the when Alex was talking earlier, that we can't quite customize the weapons, and that is very much on purpose. You'll be able to see, like again when we get back into the game, but as you look at the hero, you'll notice that like each of the handles has a different color. All the light attacks that you can use as SOHEI have a white handle, and all the heavy attacks you can use to pick those weapons has a brownish handle, right? And they're set in a very, very specific area around you. So when she was talking about how it influences gameplay, a lot of what that means is we wanted to make sure that when you're looking at a SOHEI, right, because that move is so dangerous, when you're playing against them, you want to go, okay, I want to make sure they don't get access to that move, because once they do, once they unlock it, I'm probably going to be in trouble. So if you look at a SOHEI from a player perspective, you look at him like as your opponent. From left to right, it means that the first weapon is a left light, then it's left heavy, then it's top light, top heavy, and then on the side, it's right light, then right heavy. So just by looking at him and looking at those souls, the ones that are activated, you can tell which weapons he has used, which ones are activated, but also which ones he wants to use.
Right.
And so because it is, like, the SOHEI really, really wants to have all 6 of those souls activated, so it kind of gives you a bit of a mind game of going, okay, he's missing only one. He's only missing his left light. Clearly, he's going to want to use his left light. So I'm going to make sure that because they're 400 MS, they're hard to block, I'm going to try to really deal with the left light and make sure that I'm always going to block in that stance. That also unlocks mix-ups and mind games from the SOHEI's perspective, that my opponent is expecting this, I can do something else instead. Right? So it's, again, we wanted to like give that freedom and that type of mind game and thought behind, I need to use all of my attacks, I need to use all of my hits to unlock that big crazy hit. It's not necessarily easy. We had to give shortcuts with the guard break and all sorts of stuff to be able to get into it a little bit easier so that it makes more sense. So it's really a different hero there.
Yeah.
The other thing that we did that we wanted to make it super unique was the flow, right? As I mentioned earlier, there's like, it's only light or heavy. And also in a fun twist, if you press zone, you press both buttons, so you get access to both light or heavy afterwards. So you really want to use your zone attacks with this hero because it'll chain to either your light or your heavy, so it gives you a bit more freedom as to where you're going to be going, which weapons you're going to use, makes you a little bit more unpredictable, but at the same time, there's slower attacks, they're a bit more complicated, so it's kind of different there.
Yeah.
The last point is something to keep in mind when you're playing against SOHEI. You have to respect his guard breaks, much more than a lot of other heroes, because on a guard break, he gains 3 souls every single time. And so that is extremely scary, which means that slow zone, it's a super easy parry, right? Like you see it, yeah, okay, I'm going to parry it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, because he's got the soft feint GB as well. That looks like that's going to be the main problem.
Soft feint the guard break, and guess what? He gets 3 souls every time. So it's a lot of these like trickier situations.
Really want to avoid him getting GBs on you.
That mindset of, I have to be careful, I have to change my game plan, I have to adapt my game plan when I'm playing against this hero, depending on how many souls he has. If
his throw distance is also very good, then he could be a real issue. Because he could ledge you from like far away, or throw you into fire, or spikes, or whatever.
Against him. So it's very, very unique.
I don't think it could be like understated, like how unique this is, like how no other hero does what this hero does.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, just all the ways that you're talking about here. But it's almost like you'd have to be a weapons master of sorts to be able to pull off all these crazy moves. So I think the fantasy really fits really well here. So that's awesome.
All right, cool. So now we want to have a look at Feats.
We're set up.
Cool. We're set up for Feats.
We're set up for Feats.
All right, time for Feats. 4 versus 4. This is what we're going to be seeing from SOHEI.
Mike will nicely explain, tell the cooldowns and the values for each and every feat, so you don't have to go crazy. We're aware that these are going to go really fast. It's normal. Don't worry about it. And we're going to go into it. So Mike, take it away.
Yeah, let's do this. So 4 feats, 4 unique feats for this hero, as we've been doing recently for all of our heroes. Let's start at the first one.
Unique feats is always welcome. That's always good.
Feat 1 here is a targeted active. You target an enemy, throw that at the enemy, and that is a defense debuff. Now, that defense debuff is 25% armor debuff. It lasts for 20 seconds with a minute cooldown, so it's quite short.
Yeah, you can do it quite often.
That's going to be really good if paired with his 95 damage attack.
We're not really going to see the damage values here, but
you're definitely going to be hitting over 100 if you pop that.
SOHEI's baseline damage is lower than other heroes, except for that crazy strike there. But generally, he's going to deal less damage than other heroes to compensate for the fact that he gets access to that big move once he does get all of his glows.
Okay, that makes sense.
What's interesting here is that that defense debuff puts him back to baseline. Right? Generally, his damage is going to be 20 to 25% lower than other heroes without that feat active on your opponent. So you want to activate it to deal more damage to get a little bit higher into the fight. And we'll see how it kind of flows with the rest of the stuff. That's pretty interesting.
Correct. So I'm just gonna get some souls on you now, because the second feat here interacts with, of course, it has to interact with the souls.
Guard break me.
I'll guard broke you there. Up, up, up. So I have my 6 souls. That second feat there is only available when you have the 6 souls. So you would have seen it's grayed out. You can see it on JC's side there that it is kind of grayed out. For me, it's active, and when you use it, this will consume all 6 souls and heal you to full.
Ah, that's interesting.
I'm gonna deal enough damage to you so you go like.
So you can trade the souls for
I was
health
gonna say, now when you say
with that
full,
second
you
feat.
mean
I mean,
full.
full health. There we go, nice. And
Right, so you're really low.
up. Let's get that up again. Hop, hop, hop. Do the same here again. Very scary. Appreciate you not dodging. So consume. Boom.
Boom, back to full.
Full health. So that's a game changer.
That's a game
It
changer.
gives
So
the
that's
soul
like
lots
1
of
bar of
options, but
health
also
for each
it
soul
adds
by
to
list of
him
things there, because that is full health. That is pretty nice.
Now, I will just gather up my souls here again. Feat 3, as you guessed it, interacts with the soul system.
I'm noticing a theme here.
There's a theme here.
Pretty good.
You see, you would have maybe even seen it, spotted it earlier. My hands are glowing. My feet is blinking in the HUD there. When this feat gets unlocked and you have your 6 glows,
Your 6 souls, yeah.
your 6 souls there, then you deal extra damage.
Nice.
So this can combine with that first.
So this is
that
the
defensive
passive
now
ability,
put you above
tier
the power.
3 feat.
A little bit. So this is a 25% damage buff, and it is passive. There's no cooldown on this or anything.
nothing.
It is just active as long as you have your 6 souls. If you lose them, it's gone.
Yeah, if you
Hold
die, if you lose them, if you use them, it's gone.
Okay.
So, what I really like about the way we approach this is, again,
So you can
we
keep
want to
all of your
build that
souls and do
resistance
more
as
damage
possible.
with that
So
third feat.
Our second feat, giving you a full heal if you use all your souls, is kind of interesting because then you have to sacrifice the potential damage output of the third feat, but also you give up the ability to use that move once.
Yeah.
So it's a lot, again, it's focused around like thinking about what situation am I in? Do I want to use that feat? Do I want to use that move? The third feat is interesting because it puts you back at like normal power, maybe a little bit above sometimes, but then if I use my 7-4 strike, I lose that buff, right? So it's, do I always want to use it? If I'm fighting against somebody that's at super low life, maybe it's not worth using it. If I'm against somebody that's like super high life, maybe it'll be worth using. If I'm close to dying and it's better that I don't die, then maybe I want to heal instead. So it's everything is kind of surrounds that concept of I'm getting that resource and then it's intelligently spending it. It's being thoughtful about when do I want to spend it? Why do I want to spend it? What are the different situations? That's super interesting there. And then we can also show, like here, right, so you have extra damage. We're not going to show it because you're going to kill me basically one shot.
Yeah.
But then
Welcome everyone else who's just recently joined the stream as well. We are of course looking at the reveal for the new hero, which is
7-4
SOHEI.
strike.
He is a samurai faction.
Kill.
First of all, amazing animation here, right?
Very
I
cool.
died.
Ooh, wow, look at that, 149 damage for that,
But at the
wow.
same time,
And a finisher
you see
animation
the
with it
damage
as well.
log.
Nice.
This dealt with feat 1 active on an opponent, and
That's an
feat
instant
active
kill,
on you
basically.
deals 149 damage. So what this means is it basically
think an instant kill for
one-shots
every
the
hero.
entire roster,
Yeah.
with the exception of like if you have defense buffs on yourself or whatever. There's things that can kind of activate your shields or whatever, but somebody normal that doesn't have any buffs on themselves, that's at full health, this will one-shot them every single time.
That is going
It's a
to
lot of
be
damage. You need to have a lot of
interesting to
stuff
fight
coming
against
together.
and
You
to
have your
use.
feat 1 active on the person. You have to have your feat 3 active on yourself, so you have to have unlocked it as well. But once all the stars line up, all the souls line up, you get to one-shot somebody once in a while. It doesn't happen super often.
Oh, not often at all.
I'm seeing situations here where
dangerous.
if you're with a team that are perhaps not quite good, they could use
or
get all their souls on your teammates
But if you do,
and then use the one
we
shot
better gang up on
on
him.
you.
Yeah.
Because if
So,
you die, you lose all of your
I
souls.
can see potentially
kinda
some people
weird,
might
it kind of
use this on
messes a
myself
bit with the
if
meta. And
our
when
team
this hero is in a group fight because
are struggling.
he's a
So
terrific,
that's going to have to be
insane
one
ganker. Because from outside,
to watch
you can
out
just go,
for.
I'm going to bash you, one-shot you. It's fine. So you want to be maybe potentially like focus on him a little bit more, get into that mode, get into that kind of refocusing and changing how you approach team fights in general. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more later, but it's a lot of why we're building this hero as well is to go around with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And finally, feat 4.
There's a feat 4, the big feat. Once you've unlocked that, you'll notice I have no
What
blows.
is this
I
gonna
just,
be then?
Deathblow. The 7-4 strike, just one hit. JC here. What if I wanted yet another shortcut? Yes, he did revive. I can press this button, simple press of a button, scary mode. There we go.
Oh, he's powering up.
You go
Powering
straight
up. I
into
have
it
all
with
my
tier 4.
souls available.
Yeah.
This is a long cooldown. This is it's a 3-minute cooldown, so use this wisely.
Fair enough.
You won't be using it every team fight. You do have to work for your souls.
So it's
But once
basically
do
you
have
get
it,
access to your instant
again,
kill with that
this
tier
of
4.
element of surprise. Changed up.
It's a bit like Hitakiri's, but
hopefully
not as an attack.
One hit somebody.
Yeah.
You basically prime the
burst
attack with
damage
that.
available when that happens.
Prime the instant kill.
I think we need to see it one more time at least.
Yeah, I'm going to do it on my side. So
One more time on the stairs here. Maybe a bit of.
Yeah, I don't know how
We have full
dodgeable
health
that
right now,
attack
so
is.
Let's show off what happens when.
Don't know how
have full health.
counterable it is.
Yeah, so just for clarification there, that was without the debuff.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So now I have the debuff going, and it's good night.
Jeez.
Instant kill.
Oh,
One
that's
shot.
a lot of
One
damage.
shot.
That is a lot of damage. It is
Wow.
extremely scary.
Yeah.
That weapon's like shaking a little
That
bit.
certainly is pretty
Yeah,
scary.
sir.
Terrified of what just happened.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the idea.
You want to
here, right?
avoid
So
any SOHEIs that
we
are
wanted to really
glowing
build feats
red, basically.
that complement how the hero plays,
Yeah.
complement the systems, and really interact really deeply with the hero's feats, hero's fight kit, and kind of fit really well with it. I'm super happy that we're able to, like, even I was looking at Reddit, I was looking at people, and there was so much speculation
So many guesses.
about like how
So many
things are going to
guesses.
work or whatever. I think we managed to pull off something that's like super different. It feels really unique as a hero, and I hope players.
Yeah,
will like it.
definitely is a unique hero. I don't think anyone can
So
argue with
going
that.
A little bit more into like
yeah.
what we're thinking of in terms of like when we're designing this.
So
hero,
they've done a really good
whenever-
job
the
with
process that we
not
do
having
is
something that's similar
we
to
start
anything
with,
else.
like a big document. That's like the intention that we have towards building this hero, and we generally start with like 3 keywords.
Right.
And so with these keywords inform us as to how we're going to design the hero, how we're going to design the feats, how we're going to design the fight set, but also like for everything else, right? So whenever we're talking about like executions, animations, all that sort of stuff, how is the feel going to be? So for this hero, we had 3 keywords. We had versatile, right? We want them to have different properties, different ways of approaching fights. I want them to be methodical, right? We need to be able to go, I'm versatile, but I'm also methodical in how I want to use all of my weapons, right? Like the SOHEIs were trained to use all their weapons, to become master of all their weapons, as Andre beautifully put out earlier.
Did, yeah.
So it's about like using all those weapons, making sure that you get there so it's really methodical. But we also want him to be monstrous, right? He's a big demon at a base.
He's bigger than Shugo. if
He's
I'm
bigger
not
than
mistaken,
Shugo, right? It's our largest character in the game today.
He's bigger than
So
Shigaki.
all these kind of keywords kind of
What?
built towards the
How is that possible?
feeling that we want to drive.
I wasn't even looking at like the
it
size of the
impacts
character.
animation, impacts everything.
I guess, yeah.
That's really awesome.
He did seem pretty
And
big.
It was like you've
That's
been
going to
there.
be slightly scary.
You've been there as well. The animation team has been there. Everybody's been working on this like super hard.
Yeah.
It's a
Needs to be a
very
big character though to
challenging. We
hold
had to build
seven weapons
tech
on him.
to support the soul system. How does it work? And then we also learned quite a bit from this system because we tried to do stuff where I'm going to use like 1 soul or 2 soul or 3 souls or like different thresholds, all these things. But because it's not a gauge that goes up, it's like I have to use this weapon or that weapon. It just muddied everything in hardcore, right? Because at some point, if you have to have 2, then we tried like things like different colors. Like sometimes it's white, and then it throws like different colors. It's red when it's full. Everything became so confusing, really difficult to play against as well, because it's kind of like you have to start counting them, right? So we decided to go on a more binary matter. So it's white or red. It's all or nothing. It made it a lot easier for the development for this as well to kind of like fit really well. But it was complicated, making sure that we had everything working correctly. I know Francis, who's on the team, has been on the team for a long time, that players are familiar with by now, who worked on the bots for SOHEI, made sure that the SOHEI bot actually knows which weapons he has activated, and the SOHEI bot is actually going to actively try to get to his other weapons to unlock and stuff. So there's a lot of challenges, a lot of things that we pushed towards in building this hero that was complicated. It was super challenging.
Yeah.
I think we pulled it off. We have one of our most unique heroes we've had in a long time.
Hands down.
That's great. I also want to give like big shout outs to Will, who was on a Warriors Den once, who is a newer member of our team, like for about a year now, who worked like tirelessly on this hero as well, like from the start. So it's on the design team, it was like a big challenge for us. Audio also did like amazing stuff on there. Animations, as we'll see, I think these are like some of the smoothest animations we've had on a hero for a long time.
Like butter.
So
amazing.
It's
Yeah,
amazing,
animation
right?
team,
So just
customization
close it
team
out
have
really
done
quick,
excellent job as always on this.
Looking at this hero, we've
Very,
built
very
a bit of a meta disruptor that we
impressed
always kind of have,
as usual.
but in a different way, right? We haven't had heroes that are really good at ganking in a while. This hero has like
Of course, the
strongest
mechanics
ganking move in
are
the
really
entire
good as
game.
well.
That's not a feat, right? We don't count Hito there, but it's still like the strongest move in the game, like the most damage of a baseline move that we can do. It's really different. It's really unique. Wanted to be able to have like that ganking aspect, but also that scary aspect, right? He's monstrous for a reason.
Definitely a scary character.
Scared of him. We want players to be
Got that for sure going for him.
Yeah.
I don't want him to be around me. I don't want him to have his souls. I better do something about it.
Right.
So it's kind of
You can't take his souls away as well, I don't think.
just by him being there.
So
Gaining souls.
if you see him gaining souls, you can't stop it. You gotta kill him.
Again, I keep saying that, but it's really true. We're pushing for something that's really different here.
Well, yeah, nobody else has a resource system, so that's pretty unique.
Exactly, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think and I think you're right, dude. Just from playing and experiencing that, just you hear him counting. It's terrifying. You see the red glows from across the map. Those souls just they're so angry.
When he gets all them, he screams at the end. It's like super scary.
Where is he?
You hear him from far away, but when you hear that on the side, you don't see him like, uh-oh. So,
yeah, it's pretty incredible. So thank you so much,
Awesome.
JC. Mike, any final kind of thoughts, words?
I really hope the players, enjoy, SOHEI here. Get a couple of one-shots. Let us know how it feels to be that strong. But also, of course, a very big shout-out to the whole team who's worked for months on this. You've already mentioned Francis and Will, the designers working on this hero, the animation team.
Yeah, getting that one shot in a duel is going to be quite rare because by the time you've got all the souls, your enemy is going to be pretty much dead anyway. So 4 versus 4 and 2 versus 2 is where that's going to be more of an option.
The whole team.
Or more of a threat
so
if you're on the other team, of
really hope
course.
the players enjoy this.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, cool. Well, thank you both very much. I know I'm super excited. SOHEI is available tomorrow. You don't even have to wait long, folks, okay? Tomorrow. This is nice. We do the Warriors Den the day before, and then you get to just play them tomorrow. It's incredible. So, but you know what? We have more. We want to go over more with our animation team, do a bit of a deep dive there. So please stick around. We're going to bring some of our incredible animators on, and we're going to talk a bit more about what it took to bring this hero to life and all those silky smooth animations there. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right.
Okay. So that was the gameplay for SOHEI. Now we know exactly how he's going to be using all of his weapons, what his moveset's going to be. He looks very, very awesome. He's definitely a unique character, all the way through his moveset, into his feats as well. We've never had anything like this, so this is what I'd hoped for, to be honest, and I'm sure you guys were the same. Very, very awesome character. I really want to get him to Rep 7 so that I can get like all of his armor, which I'm sure we're going to see. Well, we have seen some of his armor already, actually, but there's probably more to see and more to change in terms of the colors as well.